Welcome, everybody. We are Midlife Vices, the booster gold of YouTube shows, and this episode is titled Underwater Basket Weaving. What we're going to be getting into is some hobbies we may want to get into going forward, get better at, improve, that sort of thing. So it's good to be back here, though, and as always, I am here with Jim.
Hello.
What's going on?
Not much. I got a kick out of the making clay pots. The old man and his two kids, because I automatically think of ghosts, and my first thought was pervert. You know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a little iffy, a little bit iffy on that one.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was good stuff.
So we've been gone now for how many weeks?
At least 3.
Oh, it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a pretty busy schedule.
Yeah.
And then while even if I didn't have a busy night during the week, I just wanted to sleep.
Right.
So yeah. How was your holidays?
It was good. Yeah, we had a full house. We had 15 of us here, plus the 2 dogs. And so much food. I mean, everybody brought food, more than we needed. Which is always good. But mostly everybody took their stuff home as well, just left a few leftovers. So that made it nice too.
So we always we always go to my in-laws for Thanksgiving, and we end up bringing home a big container of leftovers, and it was gone in a day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Eating like a horse. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of, well, not quite a bit. We got a little bit of turkey left, a little bit of ham.
But you still have some left?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, man. It's impressive.
Well, we had a 17-pound turkey and about a pretty good-sized ham. And like I said, so much. I mean, we were snacking all day, too, so pretty much everybody ate one serving that night. But I still have to throw the ham hock in some water and boil it up for soup or beans or split pea or whatever in the future. So that's in the freezer. But
I snacked all day, and then I ate like 3 servings. I haven't been in that kind of pain in years. I told my parents that night, and I could barely talk to them because I was hurting so bad.
Yeah,
I haven't done that in a very and normally I go to my in-laws. I have a couple beers in me, right there. I had 1 beer, and I was just like, nope, can't do it. It was just unbelievable.
But no, we had a good time. And then Friday morning we went out and got a Christmas tree. So
we put ours up the day after Thanksgiving. We caved and went with the fake route, just because the ruins are getting too expensive, and it's not like we can plant them here.
Right,
the ones we get from the store. So we just gave in and paid enough where it'd make it worth it, and probably 6 years, let alone the 20. It should last us. Yeah. So.
No, we pay $10 for our permit, and then we just go up the mountain, cut it down, and bring it home. We'll get it in the house probably maybe tomorrow. I've got it up on the porch now. So with Oz, with the puppy, it's his first experience with it. So we've left it sitting outside for a few days so he can get used to it out there. And then I've now moved it up to the porch on the stage.
Does it smell like urine?
No, I mean he's been kind of trying to eat the needles, and I keep having to push him away, but he hasn't peed on it. He doesn't lift his leg yet, so.
Neither does my dog.
Right.
He's going to be 2.
Yeah. Well, Parker didn't until he was almost 2, I think. And it wasn't even at home. It was on vacation, and we were having to walk him in the leash.
He did it for other people.
Right. So that was fun going up and getting that. And then we'll get it in the house, and then we'll start decorating from the top a little bit, maybe one day, and then work our way down. So just so he gets to adjust to it. But,
you make it sound like he's a cat. Our cats are the ones that bother the tree.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. He eats everything. Like we had a rough night the other night because I deep fried the turkey. So when I drained it back into the jug, some of the oil went on the ground on the gravel. So apparently he ate a ton of gravel, like a lot of gravel. And I told you this whole story. I'm not going to get into that, but it wasn't fun at 1:00 in the morning.
You stepped in it, huh?
I did. I stepped in it. in the dark, barefooted. Yeah, it was nice. So
I know. I had to clean some up today. I have no idea why he lost so much.
huh.
Yeah, and it was funny because I saw it coming. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And so
Yeah.
I want to keep him. I ran out and got paper towels and got him underneath him,
Right.
and then it happened, and then he goes to move and go somewhere else to do it
Oh,
again. And so I'm
yeah.
yelling at Heather, "Hey, bring me some more paper towels!" And she's not. She's like in the bathroom. I think she was in the bedroom trying on her new coat or something.
Ah.
So oh God, you know, I'm all mad at her, and no reason to be mad at her. But
Sure.
so
Sure. Grab her new coat and throw it down.
yeah, use it to clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, no, it was. Yeah, I don't know. Dogs are crazy.
Yeah. Probably just ate something. Got something that disagreed with him.
Yeah, generally it's a pig, but not this time. He hasn't
Right.
been out in a day or two. So, well,
Yeah.
to eat, to
Right.
roam,
Hasn't been out. Maybe that's why he hasn't been out in a day or two. We just kept
to
him locked
roam.
up.
He hasn't been out to roam.
Gotcha. So, other than that, gosh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, well, we'll just we'll get into it here.
I think we can just do best of the month. Huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I've done quite a bit of reading here lately.
yes, yes.
I'm trying to think. Me and my older son finished the first Harry Potter book. I started The Lies of Lachlan Moore, which is a fantasy book about kind of like a con man. So
Uh huh.
I'm not too deep into that. Every time I go to read it, and I have it an audiobook and read, and so I read it and listen to it at the same time. And I've been so busy, I fall asleep every time I go to read. So,
Right.
and then when I'm putting my youngest to bed, I've been rereading the Harry Bosch books, which I have to heavily edit. Which I didn't really, I don't remember them being quite that profane, I guess, with the
Right.
language. So there's a lot of me having to stop and think of alternate words to use,
Yeah.
which I try to read him boring stuff that he's not interested in because it's or he falls asleep. So
Right.
so that's been interesting, and I've read these, but it's been probably a decade since I've read most of them. So
Sure.
I'm gonna try to go back into that and read that series. Reading that, Lies of Lachlan. I think that the Great Hunt, the book 2, and the Wheel of Time. I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I just can't get excited about it. I'm 170 pages in, and almost nothing has happened.
That's kind of a bummer because I know how much you like the first book.
I did. I really, which is
Yeah.
so funny. Every review, I look up spoiler-free reviews online on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
and every review says, "Oh, it's like better than the first book." No, not to this point. I mean, not for me.
Right. Sure. Absolutely. I know.
Everyone
I
has
know.
their own opinion.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
so, as far as TV, we're not doing a lot of TV watching. What me and my wife are doing we are watching movies right now. We've
Yeah.
watched. We watched with the boys. We watched Dennis the Menace. We've watched Jack Frost. We watched The Neverending Story.
Oh, nice.
Which they didn't care much for that one. We watched Jumanji, which they loved.
Yeah.
That surprised me because that took a long time to get going. But yeah, they loved it. They really got a kick out of the animals and the monkeys and
Yeah.
you know.
You said you watched Lost Boys and it wasn't your thing, huh?
Okay, so last night we watched Lost Boys. It was all we could do not to turn it off.
Really?
I think that's 100% a nostalgia movie for people.
Yeah.
And the 80s and Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, but and apparently it's a horror comedy, but
Right.
it sure wasn't funny in a humorous way to me. It was like this is really corny. Yeah, I mean, I can't sit here and talk bad about a movie people love. I just
Well, again, that might be an idea for a list in the future, is movies that you think you had to be there in the era that it came out.
so I told my wife that I sent you a DM saying that we watched the movies and like I don't understand why people like this movie, and you're like, I
Right.
like it, and I said, and she said he likes it, and my wife said, why? so
Yeah.
so I'm glad it's not just me. It's just yeah, it was rough to make it through. It,
Yeah.
it felt like every 80s cliche scene was in that movie.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I'm sure
Yeah,
you're
I
right.
think you should rewatch it and see
And I
how
told you that too. I'm sure you're right about your description of it. It's just you had to be there when it came out, or
yeah,
within a couple years.
it was something
Yeah.
else. It was something else. So
That's funny.
we've watched we bought the Hogwarts Legacy. Hopefully it's here tomorrow. I think it might be here tomorrow. So we're going to spend some time gaming. I'm one of those odd people that I enjoy watching people play games. I watch some
Sure.
YouTube channels of people playing games. So I'm really looking forward to sitting down and watch my wife play this game because she's a big Harry Potter fan, and I've only one book and one chapter in to Harry Potter. So
Is it kind of a mystery, kind of a puzzle
well, I
type?
looked up to see if it spoils the first movies or the first series, and it doesn't. So it's 1,000 years before the first books.
Oh, cool.
So it's just an open world RPG, and
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
and so I'm looking forward to watching my wife play that, and I'll probably play a little bit, because
Sure.
we got to do different houses. I can't, Ravenclaw. So
Right. That's cool. Yeah. So for us, let me see. We watched and finished season 2 of Loki, and I kind of told you how I felt about that. And it's I didn't not like it.
I didn't not like it.
Right. I just I like the story, kind of like we talked about with Blue Beetle. The basis of the plot that's there is good.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Loki season 2, and you haven't seen it, so I won't spoil anything. But
I'm probably never going to watch it. So
it tries to get too smart, try to be too kind of, I don't know, artsy, not artsy, but just
too
trippy
clever
with some stuff and too clever. There you go. Thank you. Like when I see and maybe it's just me, but when I see an end credit scene and then I have to go look up online to see what it was, the point it was trying to get across. Again, I'm not always perceptive with movies and art and that kind of stuff, but yeah, I just there's stuff like that. So, and I thought there was a lot of stuff in it that we'd seen before in other movies.
Yeah, I mean, so I saw it in the theater, and I didn't hate it.
Oh, Blue Beetle, yeah.
But so I think the first Shazam did the family thing right.
Yes.
And Blue Beetle did the family thing very, very annoyingly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
When Jamie Reyes isn't the star of his own movie,
right,
and you have an 80-year-old woman carrying around a machine gun, it's just you gotta have. I mean, I don't want to talk about realism in a superhero movie. I mean, but gotta have something that makes a little sense.
Yeah, I want to see his story. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see him. I don't care what his grandma did in the 50s.
And we try not to. Well, I'm not even going to mention
talk bad about stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mention. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just not good. That one part of it just.
Yeah.
Worst character in movie history for me. Or at least in comic book movies.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I won't go that far.
Yeah.
There's lots of movies I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I hate
and then we're still watching Lost. We're in season 4 now. We just watched The Constant, which is one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, that's with the Christmas with Desmond, right?
Yes.
The Christmas with
not
Desmond.
Christmas.
Yeah, well, he calls
Yeah,
he calls his girlfriend on Christmas, right?
Penny on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and
Yeah, that was a
so
good
that's where, yeah, so that's where we're, it's starting to give more answers and stuff, and not really, but and Ben's starting to get beat up a lot, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because he just takes a beating for like 3 seasons. So, but we've been getting like 4 episodes in a night. So,
Wow, that's impressive.
yeah. Well, they're only like 42 minutes. So we sit down at dinner and we don't have anything going on after dinner. Plus, what's making it easier is with the writer's strike, nothing starts until next year anyway for the new shows. So, we got all the old stuff to watch.
So,
and then go ahead.
No, continue.
I was going to say, and then Ghost UK.
That's what I was going to ask about. That's why I figured. So are they just putting that on because there's no regular Ghosts or US
I think
Ghosts?
so.
Because
I think
there's
so.
no US Ghosts.
Yeah, I think so.
Sense.
I think that's probably why we ended up getting it.
Because I'm wondering if it'll go away.
I don't think so.
When the other one comes back.
I don't think so.
So the only characters I know that were there between them, because I haven't seen the first episode, but I know Thor is in the UK version, right?
No, not at this point. Not the first 3 episodes. No.
Huh. I thought for sure.
There's a caveman type guy.
Oh,
who kind of
okay. So maybe that's what it's based on.
He kind of plays the Thor character.
Okay, and then
you have
someone like Nigel.
Yes. So you have the military leader. You have the Boy Scout or the troop leader.
Oh yeah, the Boy Scout. That's right.
Yeah, and a couple of others similar, and there's a couple different, but it's a little different tone. It's a little not as. I mean, it's still comedy, but there's a little more. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a little more British, I guess, obviously. So, but no, it's good. It's good. The first episode, I was kind of like, I don't know, and then by the 3rd episode, I was cracking up quite a bit. So I really liked it. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that show coming back.
Yeah, and then reading, I finished the Silmarillion. Thankfully, it's one of those books I liked a lot. I couldn't do it again.
Yeah, I after some time away from it, I kind of did I get out of it what I think everyone else is getting out of it? No.
Yeah.
Because
right.
Of course, I haven't reread the Lord of the Rings again yet. That won't happen until next year. So,
but I think like 3 or 4 chapters out of that book I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
There was some other stuff that was interesting, and then there was some stuff I could have done without.
Yeah, the map chapter.
Yeah.
It was a map with words. That's
brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really hard to read.
Sure.
And I read every word of it, and didn't like any of it. So
I just think when somebody's writing that, how do they keep it straight? I mean, they have to have so much stuff going on in their brain to lay all that stuff out.
Oh, I mean, like he came up with a mythology for a world, and I mean, it's really pretty brilliant, but also, good Lord, what else were you doing during this time? You had kids.
I know.
I mean, it took him 19 years or whatever it took, but
sure,
man, I haven't been to the grocery store in 6 months, and I've only been busy for 3 weeks. Yeah.
And then now that I finished that, I started Mistborn, which you suggested for me. 3 chapters.
I recommended a book I've never read.
I know, and I checked it out, and 3 chapters in, and I'm loving it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I had a buddy that's read that and really liked it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it's so much easier to. Well, I've listened to it on audio, so it's so much easier. I don't have to concentrate so hard to know what's going on. Like there's like 3 or 4 main characters at this point, a couple locations they've been to, just your normal story type stuff. So, yeah, and the characters are great so far, and I'm looking forward to.
So my biggest pet peeve with fantasy is the names of towns, and why can't you just have a Smithville? Come on,
Exactly.
help me know how to pronounce something. Yeah,
exactly. Although, like I pointed out to you today, I said, man, if I could only taste a cake or ale like they make it sound in fantasy books, that would be amazing. If they always do sound like
if I could ever set a table that deserved 3 pages of description, oh, man,
Right.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is my best of the week or month or whatever it's been. So that's what I've been up to.
Nice.
Yeah. So cool. All right. That's going to move us into you.
Oh, yes. Wow.
I missed her.
I know. So
All
what
right,
do you have?
I got some office stuff.
Finer Things Club.
And
Oh
wait, is that backwards? I can't see it. Party
yeah,
Planner.
it's kind of, yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just came in one of the boxes that we had. So we have. There's another that I can't show you everything because I gotta have something to show next week.
Oh, that was in your your subscription box.
Yeah, when we were doing the subscription boxes.
Nice. You're not doing those anymore?
No, they get a little wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want stuff from the show. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't need the Ford or Stanley tiki mug. It's
right.
just,
yeah.
I mean, we have it displayed, but
right.
It's not something that I look at. I'm like, oh, I'm glad we got that. It was like, what did we pay for that? So,
gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I did the DC subscription box for like 2 cycles, I think.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I gave it up for the same reason. It's like there's a couple cool things in here. It's not worth what I'm paying for it, unless I was a hardcore collector. And most of the stuff is just going to go in a box in storage because of the quality. But you get 1 or 2 nice things here and there, but not consistent enough.
Like with The Office, that's something me and my wife both liked. So it was something that we.
No, absolutely.
So yeah, we did it for over a year. So. Well, maybe not.
Like I didn't need Green Lantern salt and pepper shakers. Like, just that sort of thing.
It was going to come out. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I understand that. I mean, we have some of The Office. We have little pins that we will never use.
Right.
I mean, I have stationery here that it's really cool.
Right.
I'm not going to use it because when it's gone, there goes.
Then you don't have it. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's just sitting here looking at me in the face.
Okay. Well, kind of on tonight's topic, I've got these are some of my model trains. There's an engine. There's a caboose. So these were gifts from my dad a few years back. These are pretty old, but they actually do still work.
Nice.
So, and I've got a bunch more of that stuff, and I'll talk more about it later. But I actually had a train set set up in my house before when we were in Texas before we moved back here, and then I had to tear it all down and haven't set it back up since. But
So we had some people over for dinner a couple months ago, and both retired people. They were moving out of the area, and in conversation up came they were talking about packing their stuff to move, and he's like, well, I won't let them touch this, and I won't let them touch my model train setup. And it's just like, if I had known that, I would have loved to have seen that. You know what I'm saying? If I had known that 3 weeks ago, I would have been at your house looking at it, if you would have been okay with that. But whether you're home or not. But it just it's pretty cool stuff, actually. I mean, I don't know how cool it is. I think I'm using that word wrong, but
it's neat. Yes, it's neat. The chicks dig it. Yeah. All right.
I'm not sure mine are in the correct order, but
I think we're at the point now where we don't actually have to point that out anymore, like because we're pretty consistently not in order.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But I think most of mine are in a pretty good order of where I'd want to do them. You know,
I kind of set mine up that way too. And again,
So-
this is going to be our top 10 hobbies we want to pursue or pursue more in depth, put a little more effort in, that sort of thing. That's what we're going with here. So
my number 10 is something that we almost jumped both feet in last year. Wasn't good enough that I said 10. No. We actually went somewhere and talked to somebody that did it at beekeeping.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Ultimately, I can't remember what happened. I don't think we wanted to spend the money at that time to do it. And oddly enough, we're still in that situation. We don't want to spend the money to do it.
Yeah.
But it is something we wouldn't mind doing. The problem we run into is pesticides on the fields around us.
Gotcha.
So we would have to like cover up the beehives during, and that's if we know when they're spraying the fields. So we could lose our hives one day just out of the blue.
Yeah.
Even if they're perfectly healthy, make it through winter, we could lose. So we're not sure we're in the best location to do that. Would love to do it though. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Until you get stung.
Yeah, well, I'd come on here all swollen up and all swole.
All swole.
Look at me.
Tell us how I got stung bad.
What's that from?
Friends.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Jellyfish. The jellyfish. Yeah.
Golden shower.
No, that would be cool. I mean, and just, having your own honey, would be amazing.
Yeah, which is why we would do it. Because at that time, we were going through a lot of honey because both kids had it in their cereal. And we just would rather have that than sugar, so.
Right.
But yeah, I'm glad we didn't jump into it then, because the more research we did about the pesticides on the fields, so we got to see if it's something we can do.
I think a good tip for all of these things is, give it 6 months, do the research, and see if you're still as excited about it as you were. Because
I mean, it was like kids. If we wanted to have kids right away, who knew if I wanted to have one in 9 months?
That's right. That's right. You just jumped right in, though. Yeah. So, all right. My number 10, woodworking. So the problem with a lot of these hobbies, like you mentioned, is these are pricey. I mean, a lot of these.
So this is my number 5.
Okay. Nice.
Let's talk about it now. Might as well.
Cool. Because I had a friend I worked with that he was big into it, so he would make but he was able to expend the money on like the tools he needed.
Yeah.
So he had the routers, the saws, the miter saws. His saws were digital, so he could get down to like 1,000th of an inch on his angles and just so much money. He had a separate room with fans to suck the sawdust, that sort of thing. So if you want to get serious into something like that, it takes a lot of money and a lot of time.
Yes. And ultimately, all I really want is bookshelves. I mean,
right. Yeah.
I can't think. I mean, would I love to make a canoe? Yeah. Am I canoeing? No.
Right. Right.
That's not on my list.
Right.
Yeah. And watching like Parks and Recreation and watching, Ron Swanson, I can't think of the real actor's name, but he does all that for real. And
he does, yes.
And I would love to be able to do stuff like that. And
right.
It's like a lot of things. I don't know if I'm patient enough to do stuff like that.
So that's my key point with so many of these. Yes.
Yeah. I'm not. I would rush it. It wouldn't be glued. It was just. Next thing you know, I'm throwing wood in the garage and.
Throwing wood in the garage. That takes me back.
Oddly enough, that's my number 1.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But no, I 100% with you. We'll talk about that more as we go along. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Every one of these.
Right. So that was number 10 for me, woodworking. All right.
My number 9. I'm going to combine this as cheese making. I'm going to combine this because for a while I was making my own yogurt.
Uh-huh.
Not since I've been married, but while me and my wife were dating, we were both doing it, and it was pretty good. I really liked it.
So would you say it was pretty Gouda?
That's bad. I ultimately, it all comes down to: is it more cost effective just to go to the store while you're there and pay $1.98 for a tub of Greek yogurt?
Exactly.
Did I enjoy making it more? It wasn't as good as the stores. It was good.
Yeah.
Like if I made it now, it would be used strictly for cereal, and that's about it. Which is pretty much all I use Greek yogurt for now. Anyway, it's a fancy way of eating fruit and Cheerios.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but this is something that me and my wife had just talked about 3 days ago. It's like, because this watching movies together at night has really been kind of nice, because it's a lot of times I spend time watching sports or
YouTube videos.
Or YouTube videos, and she's in another room, I'm in another room, or we're watching a movie or watching TV or something and she's not into it, or so.
Right.
So I want to make a conscious effort to do something together that we both want to do. And so we talked about cheese making, and I'm not sure where we've landed on that yet. We're really doing the movie thing though. So So anyway, making our own cheese. I think it'd be fun to do it a couple times, and let's see.
You gotta have the cheddar. You gotta have the cheddar to get started. So
yeah, the cheddar. Oh.
That was cheesy. I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Yes, it was cheesy. you just won't stop. I bet my mom's laughing.
Oh yeah, hi Jim's mom. Oh hey Jason. Sorry, I didn't say hi to you either. If you're there, I hope you're there. I'm sure you are. We missed you guys, so hope you had a good holiday. Well, Jason didn't have one left. Well, his Thanksgiving was October, so never mind, Jason. Ignore that.
I hope your
my number
terrible, Jason.
That's right. My number 9. I would love, and I do it. I dabble in collecting records, but it's at a very basic level. Like I kind of know what I'm looking for, and I know the sites to go look at it, but actually tracking down the stuff I want and then sitting down and having the room set up to just listen to them when I got them, and having my collection, just that sort of thing makes it difficult. But, and plus with the newer stuff, there's so much stuff out there that's, Walmart has 16 different variants. Basically, it's like comic books of different colored vinyl for records. So that they sell as collectibles, which isn't what I would want. I want the older stuff, but
see, yeah. So that's my issue with this. And by issue, I mean why I don't do it.
Right.
Not only do I have to have the whole record player, I need all that stuff to play.
Right.
I just stream music on Alexa.
I've got my record player sitting in the living room, and when I buy a new record, I'll throw it on. The other 99% of the time, it's just through Alexa. It's just too easy.
I just, and I go look at it, and the one thing you can say is like the classic rock on vinyl, it has a certain sound, and it does. That, but the new stuff, why are we buying that on vinyl?
Right.
Then it's just a money grab, anyway.
It is. You're right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, so I would, that's something I would like to do. But there's just too many variables that keep me from getting seriously into it. So, which is probably better because there's so many directions to go with that.
My number 8 is something I think about doing every time I go into Hobby Lobby. I go into the model aisle and I find the Transformers model or something else. Yeah. Generally, it's an LP, Transformers or something like that. And,
right.
But I've also have done this. No, not since I was a kid. Bought a model and I was like, okay, I'm going to put this together. And then I don't even get all the pieces off the plastic,
Right.
And what I should do is like one piece a day, even if it takes me a year. Just take my time, do it right, do one piece, get it on there, let the glue set, come back the next day, do one more piece. Again, would I do that?
Patience. No. Yeah. I'm the same. I've done a few models. Just cars and stuff. And it's like I get them out of the box and I start off being, with a little toothpick and being real careful with the glue. And then pretty soon I'm just like, oh, dab. And by the time you're done, there's just like glue spots all over it. And it just looks horrible. And because I just want to get it done. Yeah. I want to see the end result. It's not the process I like, it's the end result. And I have to work on the process. My wife tells me this all the time. I have to work on the process of this stuff. Not just the end result. So.
Yeah. I'm going to lay some wood in the garage.
But I think that's exactly what you're saying too, right? I mean,
yeah, it's so hard for me to spend even at half price. If I wait till they're half price at Hobby Lobby, if I spend the $17 on a model, the idea that if I sneeze.
Yeah.
Or if I decide to do more than 2 pieces and I drink more than 2 beers upstairs and it turns into total dog crap, but I just threw that money away.
Yeah.
It just drives me crazy. So I got into the little, I don't know what it is. It's the cardboard models where you can put together like the Capitol building or the White House and stuff like that. And I did one of them, but I did it both. But both times there was one thing that I couldn't get it to line up just right and ended up bending it. And then I got to, fix it somehow that you can't just look at it and go like, hey, that's where Jim really messed up. So, and you can't do it sometimes. So it's just such a pain. It's so hard. And then they're not all painted. Not always painted. You got to put on decals. I can't even put.
I can't
put decals on my GI Joe vehicles that I got the toys of, and I'm, I almost said I'm 34 years old. I'm 40 years old. I can't do it. That was cool.
What was that?
What
was that from?
I don't know.
Did somebody just click? Oh, I don't know. Oh, we're not live, so no, we're not. No, I hope not. No, it's recording. I don't know what that was. That was weird. I feel like we should have named the show "Hobbies," where you want to make excuses why we can't do them.
Yeah. Right. Things my dumbass can't do.
That's right. That's right. No, but I'm with you. Okay, my number 8. Cooking. And not just like, making an omelet for breakfast or whatever, but actually taking the time to work on different recipes and figure out the science of foods, not like in depth, but just enough to know that if I throw this together and this together, it's going to come out with a good flavor. And then again, the problem with this is having all the stuff in your house to do it at a certain level. Because just to make one dish is, I mean, you got to have so much stuff. And I, like a lot of people, watch a lot of videos on YouTube about making the stuff, and they do it in like 5 minutes and they're done. But these ingredients they're naming for half of it is just stuff that I would never have in the house. So
and when you watch those videos on YouTube, and that's what drives me crazy about these videos, is they have all these bowls set out with the right amount of ingredients. You know, it's like, and then you just mix this and this.
Right.
Well, you can't do that when, you know, you have dirty dishes still on the counter from yesterday's dishes,
Right.
and you have 2 kids screaming in the background, and you know, it's just like, nope.
Yeah. So I would love to be able to make some good stuff, you know.
Oh, some good food.
Yeah.
So barbecuing is kind of my thing with that now, you know, and that's enough for me. I think being able to, like our lasagna that we grill, that's good. Holy
yeah, I can tell.
Good.
I can tell.
So I'm happy with that, and even that is like the perfect hobby for me because my wife cooks or puts all the lasagna together, and then I throw it on the grill for half hour.
You get all the credit.
All the credit.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know.
Yeah. It's fantastic. All right. So that is my number 8, I think. Yeah.
My number 7 is your son's hobby, miniature painting.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, something I do not have the patience to do. Funny, I don't think I've ever told anybody else this, but I painted my wife portrait on this is on, you know, on canvas, and so my wife's nickname for me, or not nickname for me, my nickname for her is she's my hummingbird because, you know, she's like this big and has the metabolism of a hummingbird. So so that's what I called her for the long time. And so I decided I was going to paint her some, and I got stencils and I did all that. And I was watching YouTube videos and Bob Ross and all this. And I was like, oh, let's just add this little here. And then look, I was like, and then this color, let's add a little bit of that. And I was like, oh, that turned into diarrhea green. Yeah. And so it was a little embarrassing because I gave it to her as part of a Christmas. You know, I don't know if that was my main Christmas gift for her. I can't remember, but it was before we were married. So, you know, I was really putting her to the test. Do you really want to with me? Look what I'm going to give you sometimes. So, yeah, it's. I don't have the best eye for color, and I'm not sure doing it on a very small scale will help any.
Right.
But yeah, it's sure. Man, it would be a lot of fun, and
it would,
and be cool to say, yeah, I did that, you know. Or,
yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to having your son. I can't remember his name.
Jason,
we need you on the show. You probably don't watch the show, but we need you here.
He only watches it when I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Again, it would. That's not on my list, but it's again the patience thing. Plus, there's a lot that goes into it too. Like I bought him a set of paintbrushes that he wanted for Christmas last year, and they're not cheap. Like these, you know, they're real fine. Like it's an expensive. Then you're getting the paints and the magnifiers to see what you're doing and all that stuff.
And that's part of my thing is I will probably get out and I'll put the first coat on the base or whatever, you know, on the thing, and I'll be like, looks good. I'm just gonna use spray paint.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that happened.
Yeah.
I know that it happened.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Or, you know, I'll be like, wonder if this would survive the microwave. That's what I would end up.
There you go. That's funny. That is funny. My number 7 is something I actually do already, but like so we live near a lake. I have a boat, and I think I've been fishing 5 times this year. And when I go out, I just kind of
This is where I wish I lived closer because I would like to go. And
yeah,
I haven't been since I was like in high school. So
but the people here, and people everywhere when they live near a lake, the hardcore fishermen, know they've got all the bait and all the equipment and all the, exactly how to do it to catch them. And people are going out there and they're catching their fish in like 45 minutes, and I'm out there for 5 hours and not catching, which is cool with me. I would rather go out for 5 hours and not catch anything than go out for a half hour and limit, because I'm out there just to chill and fish and relax on the lake. But
it would be like golfing for me.
Yeah.
When I golf, which I don't do very often, I don't get a cart. I walk it. I'm out there to be outside and to enjoy it. So that's what fishing would be for me. I'm out there to. I don't really care if I catch anything, and it's funny because I am really good at gutting and cleaning fish. So
yeah. Anyway. Just putting more effort into that. Mainly that's on there because I don't do it as much as I should, living here and having a boat and being
don't justify owning a boat.
Yeah, exactly. I'm paying a couple $100 a month on my boat. I might as well go fish once in a while. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Number 6 is something I am doing, and that's just reading, dedicating the time to actually read, which I'm very happy I'm doing now, and not just books I want, but like reading the Harry Potter books with my boys. My youngest, I'm going to start the Narnia books with him.
Nice.
Just so I don't have to edit when I read it.
Right. Yeah.
So, which I haven't read all the Narnia books, just the line of what's in the wardrobe. So might as well,
Yeah.
It could only help my boys. So anyway, yeah, just that. I'm having trouble narrowing down stuff I want to read. Sometimes I get all excited about stuff, and then I'm like, no. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a problem that I ran into with comics as well. But yeah, I'll add on that since you went the reading. This I had this a little higher on my list, but I'll go ahead and throw it in there because it is more specific to that. I want to read more, but specifically, I've been talking to you about the Star Wars Expanded Universe or Star Wars Legacy. Is that what it's called? Star Wars. Is it Legacy? They call it now.
Yeah, it's Legacy now. The EU is what.
Yeah, the EU. Those books. I love seeing your posts about your random posts to people, or you just.
Yeah, I was.
Like, I never even knew you knew this stuff.
I was really big into to the Legends books.
Right.
For a long time, like
not Legacy Legends. That's what it is.
Legends, yeah. Well, I mean, like there's Legacy of the Force, and that's a run of books. Anyway, yeah, I've read. Well, I won't say everything released. That would be impossible.
Right.
But all the main series I've read from the Thrawn in 91 or 93, whenever it came out, to when Disney bought them. So I read all the main runs. You know what I'm saying? So
the only ones I've read are a couple of the Old Republic books, like I was telling you about.
And you've read the Thrawn trilogy.
And Thrawn trilogy, yes.
Yeah. Did you read the duology, the Hand of Thrawn books?
No.
That's
so all other than those, yeah. So the Darth Malgus, I think it's called, yeah.
See, I don't even know that one. See, I shy away from that kind of from the blatant Jedi stuff. That was never.
Well, that's the lore, though. That's like the original lore for a lot of it because it's so many years before. Where we're at. So, and I've talked about that before. I like the lore on stuff. I really do. More so than the stories sometimes.
Yeah. The Darth Bane book. That's a book that you will really like.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to check those out for sure.
Yeah, and I really like that too. I don't know why I stopped reading the second book, but I did. So apparently I'm really bad with second books and runs.
Yeah, well, you and I kind of share that. We seem to dive into stuff pretty hardcore, and then
Yeah,
it fades off.
I won't say I dove into the Wheel of Time hardcore. I really enjoyed the first book.
You were very invested in it. Yeah.
Well, I still am. I still really like that story.
Right.
My problem is the second book hasn't done anything, and I'm
Yeah.
almost a third through it.
Right.
I need something.
Yeah.
Get,
Right.
throw me a freaking bone here.
Throw me a
That's
freaking bone.
so that's all I need.
Yeah.
Something, and I
Gotcha.
haven't got it. And no, maybe I should try again because my work schedule was really brutal there, and I was still trying to read. So maybe that's it, but I don't think so. I think they're expanding the world, which isn't a bad thing,
Right.
but they're not expanding anything I like in the world. So
Right. Makes
let's
sense.
see.
All right.
My number 5 is Lane Wood in the Garage. What is it?
Right. Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, my number 5 is gardening. So this is something you do quite a bit.
Yeah, this is something me and my wife enjoy this.
So we just can't get focused onto starting with one thing. Like, do we want to start with flowers? Do we want to start with vegetables? Do we want to start with bushes? And it's kind of limited in our area because we're at such a high elevation with such cold, different type of plants available that actually grow here.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of even vegetables, we're looking at asparagus and potatoes and just a few things, and a lot of things don't grow here unless we have a hot house or a greenhouse, which we would get if we were getting serious into it. And then keeping the deer out of all the stuff and finding the plants that they don't eat, and all that's kind of a process too. So that kind of distracts us from it. But I would love to. Yeah, all of it. I mean, an herb garden, vegetable garden, flower, all that stuff, and know what I'm doing with it.
Yeah, see, so I want to say we know what we're doing. We have an idea of what we're doing. Every year we have stuff that doesn't grow. Last year our corn was not good. And it was just a brand of corn that we got,
Right.
So the biggest thing, like you said, asparagus, like we have wild asparagus, so so we don't plant that, and
right.
we can't keep it out of stuff now. It's popping up everywhere. In our
Well, that's what it's like here. Once you get that once people get that first crop of it, they don't even have to do anything with it the rest of their lives. It just keeps popping up.
Yeah, it's insane. But like some like staples for us, like onions, are we Heather cut them up into 1 cup baggies, and so she needs a cup of onions. She just goes grab a baggie. It's really nice, and most of the stuff is pretty easy. What's really hard is when you get into like watermelon and the squash, which we eat all the squash, which we love, but it's so spread out. It takes up, and they go on top of each other. It's just you need a lot of room to do the watermelon, which I like the watermelon. That's fun to me because that's something I can eat right away. Turns out my older son is allergic.
Oh, really?
So he's allergic to peanuts and wheat too.
Oh man.
The boy lives on peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah.
Well, now they're out because he's been having some stomach. Anyway, so I don't want to put that in my best of the week. That would have been terrible. But yeah, gardening is. I grew up in California, and I would be the last person that I thought. The first year we did it, I helped, and now I'm in the garden every morning,
Right.
and I enjoy it. So it's fun.
Yeah.
It's neat. The first 3 weeks, I'm out there every morning looking like, do I see anything coming up? It's like that. It's yeah. I enjoy it so much more than I ever thought I would.
That's cool.
That's cool.
All right.
My number 4 is wood burning.
Wood burn. Oh, I know what you mean. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've actually looked into kits. Making signs and where I'm really apprehensive about this is you see people doing all this artwork and cool stuff. I am not good at art. I am not good
Right.
at drawing. I need some really awesome stencils if you want me to do
Right.
anything good,
Yeah.
So, and you can actually buy the stuff relatively cheap, except for the wood. Wood's not cheap,
No.
but like the tools and the tips and stuff like that, you can get a starter kit for like $35 or something like that. So I think it'd be worth trying.
Yeah.
But
What would you do with it all?
I would make signs for in our house that Heather wants.
Right.
So we have our family portrait, and then we have a big wood panel above it. This has her last name, and I would like to redo that and actually have it burned.
Right.
It's kind of funny because she did that with stencils and paint, and she looking at it one night, she's like, I did the E upside down. No one would ever notice, but we know now. So it's kind of fun. Well, now everyone can notice. If only everyone watched her show. So
That's cool.
anyway, I think it would be fun to try and make signs and
Right.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wood burning would be something that I would be interested in trying.
Awesome. My number 4, yard selling. And not just like going to a yard sale on Saturday, but actually traveling around to yard sales and buying stuff and
American Pickers.
turning around and selling stuff and doing. Because we do a little yard selling, we do some storage auctions, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean to do that, it's a big hobby of my dad's. He does a lot of that stuff, and then he sells a lot of stuff on eBay, and he finds a lot of really cool stuff. And by this point, he knows what he's looking at.
Mm-hmm.
He knows if it's good or not when he sees it. Whereas me, I'm easily swindled out of because something looks cool. And so just being more knowledgeable and making the effort to take the time to travel around and to different places and find all that stuff. So that's my number 4.
Okay.
My wife loves it. Just going to yard sales. She can.
So me and my wife, they have tag sales here. I don't know if that.
Yeah.
But so we do that quite a bit. But something you said there just put another one on my list. It's going to be an honorable mention. But excuse me. I will say that afterwards.
Cool. Okay. So that is my number 4.
My number 3 is I'm going to do 2 of them here. Musical instruments. I would like to start playing the saxophone again.
Cool.
Until I was 23, I wanted to be a professional sax player. Was I good enough to do it? No, but I wanted to. And I loved it. It was a lot of fun. And also just a harmonica. I want to buy another cheap harmonica and just learn how to play. And I think it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I bet your boys would love that too.
Yeah. And I have a saxophone. I just have to get it repadded and all that.
Yeah. I mean, the harmonica.
Expensive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're not cheap.
I mean, I don't know what a box of reeds costs to play, so
I'm trying to think. I mean, when I was, what did I play? I played. God, I changed like I changed hobbies. I changed instruments so much in high school band. I think I started off in the 7th grade playing the clarinet, and I couldn't do it because that vibration of the reed tickles my lips, and it's just a feeling that I can't deal with. And then the trumpet was the same way. That little squeaky, it was just felt horrible. I ended up playing the baritone and the tuba because
What you're saying is you'd be no good in prison.
Right, exactly. No, I ended up playing the baritone and the tuba, and because they were more of a relaxed way to play. But it was fun. But I just never practiced. When you're carrying around a tuba and you're supposed to take it home to practice every night, you just don't do it.
You just don't take it home. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I gotcha. All right, my number 3. This is something that very specific that we have been talking about, and we now have the capability.
This is my number 1.
Oh, cool. Okay. I need to read through the book. I've looked through it a little bit. I want to read through it, and I definitely want to get into playing at some point, one way or another. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I've never done.
You've never done a role playing game?
No, other than like 30 minutes of D&D 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
See, and my one issue with that is for one, people.
Yeah.
So I guess I have multiple issues with it, and not issues. The second thing I have is I always want to play another character.
Right.
I love making characters in these games, and I will play them. And then I was like, okay, but what if I make this guy?
Right.
And then you want to make them as crazy and as crazy realistic as you can. So as wild and yet kind of believable in that setting, So like my best friend in Missouri, had a character that was like. If he got mad, he needed to take a medication, but the medication made him turn.
Cool.
They had all these things where every session his character would go from this to this in like 2 seconds, and it was comical. It was funny, know. So, and that's what I like. My problem, like with this, is I've never DM'd stuff like that. So that's a little nerve-wracking. I would love to play, and
that'd be time-consuming too, wouldn't it?
They have published adventures and stuff like that. Like they already have a published adventure for that. The book for the Fantastic Four came out.
Oh,
yeah, I think, or did I see it in the coming soon? I can't remember. But so, yeah, it's, and then if you have multiple players, you got to kind of cater to each of them, for everyone has time to shine and feel like they're involved. It's just it's a delicate thing, and never having DM'd before, I'm either going to be putting way too much into it and getting and not doing it well, or I'm going to be doing okay and it's just not going to be enough for everyone. So at least that's how it feels,
So is your fear that it would be like say being commissioner of a fantasy football league, where you're interested in it and nobody else participates?
Like no one else talks? Yeah.
But I think it'll be a blast. Yeah, I mean, you got to get a core group. Have you watched many videos since they've had it out on?
No. Not for that specific game. I listened to a podcast for the Star Wars role-playing game.
Okay.
Which it's called Dice for Brains. And it's pretty old now, because I listened to it a few years ago too. But they all sound great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like they all have done this before. So me setting up a game, I'm just going to be afraid it'd be a lot of
So what if we could find a GM?
Well, I play in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. That might be the way to go with it.
Yeah, if we can find one, that'd be awesome. So
All right. So that was my number 3.
my number 2 is one I want to do. I just need a little more room, and that's beer making.
Yeah.
I want to make beer so bad. I want to make
It's
good beer. I want to make beer that I always have at the house.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever have to go somewhere to buy beer. I want to have it here. I want someone else to fund it, and to make it, but to always have it at my house.
You know, those starter kits, I did it for when I was over in England for about 6 months. I really didn't have the room. But we just bought one of the starter kits, and I got, I think, 6 jugs and made the kits. I didn't put it together myself, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, because once you get into it, you start adjusting the hops levels and all that kind of stuff as you go. But these were just the pre-made stuff, and it was really not difficult. I just didn't have room, like you're saying, same sort of thing. But it was good, and not a hard process, because once you boil the stuff and you have the setup right, it's pretty much works itself out. Yeah.
So I have a couple fears with that. Is if it doesn't turn out good, all I'll do is lay in bed, wait, thinking about all the beer I could have had. If it does turn out really good, I'm going to be laying in bed, wondering why my wife left me because I'm drinking beer all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's just, and so this is something that I would love to do with my father-in-law.
Yeah.
So me and him both enjoy our beer, and so I would really get a kick out of doing this with him, and he's done it before. But again, you know, it's unreasonable for me to go to him and say, hey, look, if you buy all the stuff, I will help you make the beer.
I will help you drink. I will help you drink the beer.
Yeah.
And
he already can't keep enough in the barns and at his house.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. Well, along those lines, my number 2. So I've been working at the bar for a little while now, and I make drinks here at home, and I watch a lot of videos on it, but I don't put the time into it. This kind of goes along the same lines as with the cooking. I don't put the time in it to really. I'm just copying what other people are doing right now. I would like to get into where I'm coming up with my own stuff, and not just mixing random stuff together, but understanding the science of it and all that sort of thing.
But here's my thought on that. I don't think they're coming out with new drinks very often anymore.
They're not. No, they're not. But even if I don't come up with something new, just be able to think about it and put the right ingredients together. And even if I look it up after and it's a drink that's already made, I'm like, hey, I was along the right lines here of knowing what I'm doing. Because everything's pretty much a standard mixture for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. You're looking at almost like liquor to mix to fruit is 2 to 1 to 3/4 or 2 to 1 to a half, or almost always the same on everything you're looking at. So, but just put more time into it where I don't have to pull up my phone or out a piece of paper every time to look up the recipe to make something. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I heard that.
So,
did I tell you? Did I send you a picture of the Kahlua and orange juice and?
You did. Well, actually, you had it on the last show we did, I think.
Did I?
It was the last show.
The really bad looking drink that was pretty good. My thing is I am very adventurous with mixing stuff. I have no issues, and it has to be really bad for me not to eat it or drink it.
Right.
So like I mix stuff all the time, and Heather's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "No." I said, "Okay, you don't have to eat it. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do it."
Yeah. So we've got a new one that Sherry really likes. I enjoy it too, and it's called a chocolate Coke, and it's Coke with Kahlua and creamy cocoa. Ooh. And it doesn't sound good, but it's really, really
sounds great.
Yeah.
So I know someone in my in-laws' house has my name for our Secret Santa.
Uh-huh.
And so I made it pretty clear to Heather that I would really like the stuff just to make white Russians or black Russians.
Right.
That's what
So
I
I just
want.
need Kahlua and vodka. Come on.
Yeah, that's I know. And so I asked Heather, like, do you think I have a problem that I'm asking for liquor
Yeah.
from in-laws?
Right.
You know, while I'm drinking their beer and opening their you know, it's I I don't think I have a problem, but I definitely enjoy it. Uh, especially when, like, I've been loading up hogs here while we haven't been recording, and so between 4:30 and 6:30 in the morning, I'm generally sitting in the beer room, sitting in the bar drinking beer. Just because I just finished 4 or 5 loads of hogs and I'm beat up and tired, and I'm going to sit there and drink beer and enjoy it. So
Yeah. I'm with you.
anyway.
All right. So your number one was the
Was
role-playing game.
Yeah, because I have quite a few of them too. Anyway, I don't know. You want to run the number one?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. It's been a while. I'm
It was either
I'm into my third glass of scotch here, so
it was either that or I do the number one. I don't think anyone wants to see that.
no.
The role playing game thing. I think I own 4 of them. I own 4 different Star Wars role playing games, but then I have the GI Joe one. I have the Marvel one.
Cool. Yeah. But I mean, even if you don't play them, though, you like collecting the books. So
I love the books. That's the thing. Especially the Star Wars ones, and I don't know why I love those as much as I do, because it's the first one I ever played.
Right.
That has to be one. It's the only one I ever played. Oh, and I have Dungeons and Dragons, which reading all these fantasy books is the one I kind of want to play the most now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to spend the time to read the books and understand all the rules, and because I think I don't know if I told you that one of the things the boys like to do is, like, it happened today. It's like, hey, look, can we go upstairs? My hobby room. Yeah, okay. So we go up there and they find my bag of dice for role playing games. And say, what's this? And so I try to explain to them what they do, and then it turns into me doing a little game for them of okay, you're outside and you find a snake. What do you do? And then, like, I said, okay, 1 through 3, something good happens. 4, 5, 6, something bad happens. So they roll the dice, something bad happens. You peed your pants, and they laugh. It's
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
That's awesome.
And they get a kick out of it. But I don't think I've ever had them pee their pants. It's me or mom or grandma, and
right.
It's the funniest thing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good hobby. You can really use your imagination. I mean, there's more to it than just peeing your pants.
It doesn't cost a lot. I mean,
books are not cheap.
No, but once you have them, you have them.
Yeah, and unlike most people, I don't care about the miniatures really, unless I want to paint them. I don't need that stuff. I just like the imagination stuff, and
right.
And I do have some issues sometimes when I'm a player of separating what I know compared to what a character would know, and that's hard stuff to do. But it's if you can do it and you find the right group of people, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and it's a great way to kill 8 hours. You can spend 8 hours doing this and get nowhere. Yeah. That's the thing. You can get nowhere in 8 hours. And
that's the thing with us doing this is just having the time, right? I mean, having that much time to we put into it.
Like if we did it, we'd be doing it over something like this, and it would be
like an hour and a half a week or something.
Yeah, it would be an hour, an hour and a half. There would be a plot point that we would have to hit. And then if we hit it, we hit it. If it runs a little long, it would, but like
Right.
one encounter, a couple things you have to do. Or anyway, so it just, I mean, I don't think the time is as big of a deal if you stay focused.
Right.
If we're just willy nillying around a town and doing stuff, you can make it last as long as you want. If you have an objective and and the right group means you have characters that want to be together, and that's
Right.
important because we all want to have kind of a rogue character sometimes, and it's like, well, why do I want to hang out with these guys? Well, because you're playing this game, and you guys all should have a kind of a
Sure.
goal together, So that there has to be a little give and go between everyone. So
We are dorks, man. We are.
I 100%. I have no
Yeah.
misgivings about this.
Yeah. No delusions about that.
Yeah.
I got you. No, it would be fun. We will definitely get to it. All right, my number one, and I kind of showed earlier, model trains, and the tracks and the trains. Collecting the trains, finding good train cars and stuff. Like I said, this here you can't really see it too good, but it's pretty old. It's heavy. It's an old.
That's O scale, right?
It's HO. Yeah, HO.
Is HO the big one?
HO is half of O.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have my mom's engine.
Yeah. But the cool part for me is the scenery.
Yeah.
Now, as we've talked about, it looks cool. And I would want my set to look like that in about an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I want it up and running, and the trees are there, and the buildings are there, and everything's painted. I want the finished product at the start.
Yeah. I mean, I have these crazy ideas of like, okay, what if I had the Hogwarts Express and it went around the tree and I had all the city and I had, Gotham City with a train.
Right.
That would be so cool. I can do the whole thing. You know how much work I have to put into that?
So, yeah, but I definitely want to get into that. So that's my number one. Now, here's the problem with all this, Jim. We've got 10 hobbies that we want to get more into. To do any one of them right, that there can only be one, right? I mean, that focus, the people who do setups like this,
beer making it is.
That's all they do. I mean, that's their focus, their free time. That's what they're doing. And I don't know if I would ever be at that stage. I don't think I'm that passionate about anything hobby wise. I would love to be. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
If I could be, that would be fantastic. And so I'll probably spend the rest of my life being mediocre at all this stuff, which is cool. I mean, I'm not unhappy about that, but will I ever focus on
beer tasting?
Oh, now you're talking. That takes half the work out of it. Still, you have
my life goal.
There you go. So, I did have a honorable mention.
Well, model trains was my number 11.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. And golf was mine.
Golf.
Yeah.
And then you had mentioned it earlier with your dad, and you do it, and I've actually mailed you stuff to do it for me, was selling stuff on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
I have a box of G.I. Joe figures up there I've been wanting to send you for a year now.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't want to sell stuff on eBay myself. I just don't. I don't want to. I don't want to get a comment back saying, "Hey, you know what? It's not what you said it was." And yeah, it was. Yeah, I just. For some reason, I am really nervous to go onto eBay and sell something.
Yeah.
I buy stuff. I have no problem with that.
Right.
But so yeah, I should probably get over that because I have quite a few things upstairs that I'm willing to sell, and I don't want to mail them to you all the time.
Right. Yeah. Not that I have a problem, but I understand. I mean, that's more cost for you too. Shipping them and and all that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, awesome. No, that was fun. That was fun. There's a lot of stuff, so much stuff I'd like to take the time. But again, I start doing it's. I got 15 projects going on around my house and yard, and I start them and I never finish any of them, or it just takes forever. Like, okay, so you see, right back here. Oh, where are we at here? Maybe point that way. See those beams right there, the middle beam? There's that light. So this was built in the garage where I'm at right now. A bar was built, and all I got to do is get do some finish work. I need to get some wood and cut it to 4 inches long and cover that up and kind of box it in. That way it'll look.
You got to lay some wood in the garage?
Yeah, exactly. So that way it's going to look like a wooden beam instead of just a metal bar back there. Have I got around to it? No. Why? Because, well, that's all that needs to be done to finish it. So it's that focus to follow through to do that. And that's how I am with the painting and all that kind of stuff. I want the end result, or I get bored halfway through and realize that, like you said, it's not going to turn out like I want it to. So
it's funny because it's not just hobbies. So we have, I don't know how tall our ceilings are. I really don't. I don't have a ladder that can reach the top of them, or I can't reach the top of a roof because we have a cathedral. Anyway, it's really tall, and we have 2 ceiling fans, and they're a pain in the butt to clean. So we just keep them on all the time, for you can't see them. So I've cleaned them once in 7 years that we've lived here, or no, 6 years, almost 7 years. No, I don't know how long I've lived here. And ceiling fans aren't easy to clean when they're that high, and you're using an extension rod to do it, because they don't just, it's not like they stay still.
No.
So it's a pain in the butt. So we just keep them running, which when we bought it from our uncle, that's what he did, just kept them running. So the first time I cleaned them, they had probably 20 years of dust on them, 15 years of dust, whatever. And so every once in a while I look up and was like, okay, I'm doing it. And then I go to the bathroom, forget about it.
Yep.
It's just
I'm with you. So, all right.
Okay. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was a fun show. Going through a list of stuff that I wish I would do, but I never will. Kind of depressing. This may be the most depressing show ever.
Mom, out of all these hobbies, if you want to send me any of these kits, I'm just joking, Mom. Anyway, love you.
Yeah, she's got your Christmas list now, Jim.
Yeah,
That was the easiest Christmas list ever.
I think I'm past the sending me a gift. Just, she sends my boys gifts, and that's good. So
yeah. We still do the whole. Everybody gets. I mean, of course, we don't have kids, but my family's always been pretty big on just the. It's a long process opening gifts on Christmas, because everybody gets them from everybody, and we do them one at a time. And everybody
we do them one at a
one.
time. We buy something for all the kids, but we don't. We all only pick one name of everyone else.
Oh, that burned. That one went down wrong. Oh, scotch down the wrong pipe is not good. Oh.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
Oh, that was worse than hot sauce.
Describe it.
Describe it. Oh man. All right. So next week we should be able to do another show next week, right?
Yeah, it's going to be on cheese making.
Okay, perfect. Cheese making next Monday or Tuesday. Whichever day. Maybe I'll talk to Jason and see if he wants to be on next week with us.
Okay.
And talk about figures. Yeah, I'll get a hold of him, and then we can it'll be I don't know if we'll do a list or not, or just talk about figures. We'll figure that all out. We'll figure it out.
I had the wrong Jason in my head.
Oh, my son.
Yeah, got it. Sounds good.
So Anyway, all right. We are Midlife Vices, the Booster Gold YouTube shows, and we thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Adios.